Do a couple practice runs.
Warm-ups. Hi, welcome to Comic Talk. I'm the guy from New Kids on the Block whose name no one ever remembers.
And I, Tunes.
This is our weekly pull list review for May 18th.
This episode is brought to you by a better fucking phone than you have. Because every good hero has a better fucking phone than you have.
That's the sidekick. This week we have 3 titles to talk about. All Marvel titles. Mm-hmm. Just coincidentally, they all have this. We have
M&M's.
M&M's. This is Marvel Custom Celebrate. We also have M&M's and M&M's. Weird week.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think one of them is an annual.
M&M's annual. No, we have Karnak number 4. This chair just gets squeakier and squeakier, doesn't it? Like, I feel like it's too much squeak. I'll have to get a new chair, I think. We'll fund that with drug money. This is by Ellis, Bocce, and Brown. We have Power Man and Iron Fist number 4, I think, by some people. Walker, Green, and Luridge. And we have Ant-Man number 8 by Spencer Schoonover. Schoonover?
Yeah.
Scooting over. and Boyd. The first time Rosanas has not been on a Astonishing Ant-Man for the entirety of this run. Weird stuff. So let's start off with Karnak again, Ellis, Bocce, and Brown, number 4.
This issue is a continuation of the series that we've been reading since number 1, where there's this inhuman kid that he's trying to rescue from his captors.
Yeah, this continues to be dark as shit.
Yeah.
Also, it still continues to really hinge on like vibe and style. It's very visual and feel tone heavy. Mm-hmm. I think.
You know, I had a thought when I was reading this. This is like if somebody took a Brubaker and then just took out all the words and then Bendis like rewrote it.
Okay, but
because like nobody says anything for like the vast majority of this fucking comic. Like it's just like panel to panel, and like in my head, it's just like that same frustration of there's so much like inner monologue, the hateful dark shit that we're missing out on, just because like there's no narrative in this.
Right. Yeah, it's all told through dialogue.
Yeah.
There is no inner monologue at all. But I think it kind of works in a cool way because it just makes him sort of dark and mysterious. You know, it's definitely a different vibe, a totally different tone than most anything else in the Marvel universe, at least.
Yeah, it really, I mean, as far as the stuff we're reading, it's way different.
Yeah.
You know, stuff we have read.
Yeah, definitely. There's also some funny moments, which, you know, is kind of cool. They like to throw in a few little funny things in each issue. But mostly, man, this is just dark, kind of more, you know, nihilistic weirdness. The kid isn't a kid, really, which surprised me. I was thinking like a little boy.
Child.
Yeah, and it's more like early 20s, late teens. Like,
yeah, at least in high school.
Yeah, he got kind of an older look to him.
The hairline's coming back a little bit.
Yeah, and you know, the like stuff that's happening in here itself isn't even, it's almost just throwaway.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe this comic because it's like tonal, but it's also, there's like action and stuff happening, but it's you could just take the action bits out, I think, and it would be the same comic, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the action bits are really only to play up his superpower, per se, of like finding the weak point and everything. That's really the exciting part about him, is just the way in which he comes up to destroy things. Mm-hmm. You know, it's always really creative and interesting and not exactly what you expect.
I could do without the action, though, honestly.
Yeah.
especially in this issue. Some of the other issues, the action was really cool. Like there was the issue 2, I think, had like a lot of really cool choreography. But this one was just, it wasn't clear like what these things were, what they were doing.
Yeah.
They're weird, like Cirque du Soleil umbilical cord people. It was just odd.
And that's why I'm really saying, like, if this had a bit more of like a Brubaker vibe, like I would love to see tons of narration boxes on this that are talking about something completely fucking separate from what's going on. I think it would be like perfect to just complement like everything going on in this. But yeah, because they're not there, it's like that whole like middle 20 pages or so. It's just, yeah. All right.
Right. He punched that guy. That's
okay.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I wish maybe he would spend a little more time reading some of the other, like, especially like Vision, right? I feel like this is similar in a lot of ways to Vision in that it's trying to be philosophical. It's trying to take a superhero character and just put him through a philosophical journey, but
it's in this weird middle point where it's not quite there.
Yeah, it's just doing too much fighting and stuff. I would have loved to have had the end of this issue basically be almost the beginning of it, and then just have that whole thing elongated and just give me the conversation with the kid for like 22 pages, right? Yeah. So
I wonder how he eats like snow crab. Right. Yeah. Shell like falls off.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have spent some time at the temple. It'd be so weak.
Yeah. Some of the funny stuff I love when he says, "Why can't I just kill everybody?" Like, kill all the people. Like he's like lamenting. And there's also a point where it's he sighs, but it says vastly frustrated sigh or something like that. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, son of a bitch.
There's some good moments in it that are an interesting break from the darkness that I appreciated.
Nice.
Power Man and Iron Fist number 4. How are we up to 4 already? This, well, cool. Walker Green and Luridge.
So this is the climax to this story arc that we've been reading. So the Super Soul Stone. And,
yeah. I feel like this kind of really highlights how great their Black Mariah is.
Yeah. She was really probably the standout character in this issue, other than Iron Fist, just like shitting himself. Like, did you just say we're a team? Are we a team? Did you hear him say that? I thought I heard him say that.
Yeah, I also like the fistball special.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Wolverine taught me this. That was good. But this whole thing just continues to have such a great tone to it. It really knows what it is, if that makes sense. It like knows exactly what it's shooting for, and it nails it, I think.
It's almost like maybe daytime talk show vibe, and I'm not talking about like The View or something like that, but like some Jenny Jones shit. Like if you had Jenny Jones, but then like one of the characters like became a monster or something like that, and then Well,
it just has this like cartoony Harlem kind of vibe. It kind of reminds me of like a superhero Boondock Saints almost.
Okay.
Or not Boondock Saints.
It was Boondocks.
Boondocks, yeah. It has a really good like multicultural vibe. That's such a I mean that's kind of bullshit sounding, but for real, like it's got all of these different characters with these different heritages and backgrounds all interacting with each other in an inner city environment. It's
and it feels authentic, which is the important thing about it.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd very easily be done poorly.
Yeah, it could really come off as like a 70s like blaxploitation film.
Right. Yeah.
But the thing is, Power Man, Luke Cage comes out of that, as does Iron Fist. They're both, kung fu exploitation or whatever that was called, and blaxploitation. Like they're both from that era where Luke Cage was straight up like superhero Shaft.
Yeah, he had the fro.
The big gold chain, right? And Iron Fist is like complete 70s cultural appropriation of let's put like a white blonde guy,
make a Bruce Lee,
and turn him into Bruce Lee. Like what if a white guy went to China like and trained? He would totally be amazing, right? So it makes sense to kind of go back to those roots, but modernize it instead of exploiting it negatively, like try to exploit all the good stuff that comes from that,
Yeah, definitely like a modern take on some of the things that were ill-conceived about, when they first came out. So, yeah, I think it's really smart. Yeah, especially for being a funny book, like it's really smart.
Yeah, agreed. It's
funny.
It's got a good heart to it too. Yeah. Like I really like all the characters, even like the
shitty boss,
Lonnie Lincoln. You know?
Yeah.
Like I'm even starting to like that guy, and I like the interactions with him and how they talk. Everybody always talks about how they can't fucking hear what he's saying.
Yeah, he's doing like the angry whisper thing.
Yeah,
I used to think it was part of like his mystique or something, but now I don't know what the hell the guy's problem is.
Yeah, so I got some good laughs out of it, and again, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I think it's a good book.
Agreed.
Also, I've seen some mixed feelings about the art. How do you feel about the art on it?
I think it's appropriate.
I do too. I really like it. It's one of my favorite books art-wise from Marvel, for sure.
I mean, it's definitely got the comic booky style. It's a little bit sketchier than, we're used to, but like the perspective is always like straight on, and I think that comic but a little bit just dirtier is like a good analogy for the book in general. You know, I think the art is very analogous to the tone of the book.
I think so too. I think it really fits it well. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about another Marvel comedy here. This is Astonishing Ant-Man. This is Spencer Schoonover and Boyd. This is number 8.
A lot of this just focuses on the interaction of some B or C-list villains.
Maybe like D-list villains. Like really like low rent bad guys.
And at the end of it, we see finally some connection to the stuff that we've been dealing with up to that point, which honestly, if it wasn't there, I'd be fine. I'm glad it was. It was a great part of the book, but it could have just been like these guys talking and stuff, and I would have been completely happy with it because it's absolute fucking gold. Like, this is probably one of the funniest issues that's come out of this book so far, and that's saying a lot.
Because this is one of the funniest books we read.
Book.
Yeah, it's really high caliber. This is this is golden stuff.
Fucking Tinder thing.
Yeah,
beginning.
Definitely. All of these characters are so fantastic.
Yeah.
And it goes into, because this whole thing has been about how Ant-Man has to have a normal job, right? Because he's not an A-list superhero. He's kind of a B-lister.
Sure.
So he has to find a job. He does the security thing. But in this, we start to see some of his rogues gallery and their life that is not all that different from his, where they have normal everyday stuff, and I love that they also all wear their outfits all the time. Yeah,
to work and stuff like that.
Yeah. The one guy sells like shoes or something.
Yeah, the voice. Who, I mean, he has the same power as like the antagonist in the Jessica Jones, like Netflix, whatever, the Man in Purple or Kilgrave, I think is what his name there.
Right.
Yeah, and just to see him, or somebody that's, very analogous to him, put in a situation where he's just like a fucking salesperson.
Right.
You will buy 2-foot massagers.
Right. And he works at what's that place in the mall that sells all the like nice kitschy shit?
Brookstone?
Brookstone, yeah, I think that's it,
Yeah.
He basically works at a Brookstone.
Yeah.
Just a hilarious scene, funny character, but we see this with all of them, like each one, I guess the third guy, the hijacker, they actually show him doing his thing. Sure. And the magician is just funny as shit, I thought. So we get these 4 great characters, and we just kind of see who they are behind like their weird D-list personality, right? Which behind their persona.
By the way, if you read Superior Foes of Spider-Man and you think we should check it out or not check it out, leave us a comment below, because we had a conversation. We never picked it up. But we're kind of regretting it now because this theoretically maybe has a similar vibe to that. We're not sure.
Yeah, let us
know. If it
know.
does, we'd definitely be interested.
I've heard good things, but what do you guys say? Because just hearing good things doesn't always end well.
Yeah, I hear bad things about amazing shit all the time.
Right,
so.
I hear good things about terrible stuff,
right.
So who knows? But yeah, this is great. Nothing really happens other than he hires these guys and then goes to meet them at a bar where they're sitting around playing poker. But that's all we really needed, because it's all about the interactions between all these characters.
Yeah, and also the bit where they're talking about if you go to New York, stick to Midtown. Yeah. Because like Spidey's over here and like If you laugh at his jokes, he'll take it easy on you. But if you go over to this side, like, the Punisher's over there and you fucking pray, like, the minute you see him.
Right, or Daredevil, will beat your ass.
Yeah, he's got some serious anger issues.
Yeah, so I would love to see more of these characters. I'm glad that they're sticking around. I hope they become recurring characters for a little while because they're hilarious. And also, I do like that near the end of this, when he shows himself and they get into a fight, he like holds his own against all four of them.
Yeah.
I really like that because he gets beat up on a lot, but he is fucking Ant-Man. He is an Avenger, right?
He was at one point.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's done some badass stuff. So I like that Nick Spencer gave him this moment where
he maintains a little bit of legitimacy for all this mud that he's been dragging him through for 8 fucking months now.
Right. He's not worthless. You know. So I thought that was good too. That was a nice nod, a nice change of pace. He usually wins at the end of most of these in one way or another, but that was nice.
Yeah.
The Cassie stuff looks good. It's just, what you expect to happen there. It's really just a touch and base kind of thing.
Sure. Last point, because we have different artists on this, the art in this. What'd you think?
Okay. There's nothing incredible here going on, but it's all framed pretty well, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it is actually cleaner. It seems a bit cleaner. And I don't think it necessarily detracted anything from the story, but I didn't feel like it was as much of... It wasn't as appropriate as the art usually is.
Right.
Like, I think Rosanis usually does a little bit better job.
Yeah, well, and Rosanis has also had, about 20 issues to really get the vibe and style down. So it makes it a little extra weird to have somebody else trying to ape kind of the same feel. Right, so I'll give Schoonover a pass on it. I think he did fine for being a fill-in.
Sure. It seemed like the coloring was a little bit different too, but the colors we have on this is the same. So I don't know, maybe
probably just
it just seemed more appropriate for this art style to go a little bit more vibrant with the palette.
Yeah, coloring someone else's inks will kind of change how you do things, I imagine.
Yeah, it feels more vibrant. I think that's the right.
I think so too.
Adjective for that. Yeah.
Not a knock on the art. I don't think it's
fine.
It's just a little different, It's not that different either.
No.
It's kind of like Walmart brand Rosanis, right?
Yeah, I can see that.
It's pretty much the same, but you can tell.
Yeah. Some of the Multimeter cereal, I prefer to like the actual cereal. Yeah. Like the Toastums are way better than fucking Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
The Golden Puffs are good.
Are they?
Yeah.
I haven't tried that.
Yeah.
Is that
Golden?
No, it's not Golden Grahams. It'd be like Captain Crunch, wouldn't it?
No. It's Smacks.
Oh, Smacks. I forgot Smacks was even
Smacks?
a thing.
It's like the frog, right?
Yeah.
Is it still got a frog? That seems like it could be racist.
Against
Smacks,
frogs?
Smacks the frog? I don't know. No, not against frogs. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still don't see the connection.
I don't know. Have you seen Smacks the frog?
He just looks like a 90s kid.
Does he?
Yeah, he's wearing like a hat and a shirt and no pants like they did in the 90s.
Okay. Well,
He's more like a professional wrestler now that you think about it. They need to get him
pants
some
weren't
boots.
that big in the 90s,
Actually, pants were big in the 90s.
They were huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've got photos somewhere to prove it.
Some Jinkos?
Yeah. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for us this week, I think. You can check back with us every Monday when we talk about other shit in the comic industry and world, and we talk about trades and all that kind of stuff. And what
superheroes as a genre is what's coming out this Monday.
Yeah, up there once it's here, which will be like a week. But, if it's after Monday next week when you watch it, I'll try to remember to put it there. I might forget.
Sure.
If I do, deal with it. Put a message down there if, it's after next Monday. Figure it out. You're going to have to figure out what that means by after next Monday. But you'll know. When it's that time, you'll know. And then give me a comment, and then I'll fix it.
Blah, 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 Superior Spider-Man. Oh, and by the way, fuck you. You said you were going to do this, and you didn't. You lazy asshole.
Right.
That's a comment I want to read.
Right. Superior Spider-Man thing, and put the thing on the thing up there.
That links to the thing.
Time. Give me a time, too. That'd make it easy. Tell me what time to put it up there. All right. Thanks a lot.